joining us at Meetings Africa 2016. Tell us a little bit about your focus for the bureau going forwards. Which shows are you attending?
For 2016-2017, our year starts in April, so we really want to do a focus kind of sales. We're doing IMEX, which is IMEX America and IMEX Frankfurt. We're doing EIPTM, and then in the middle we'll be doing much more of sales missions. We'll be going to the UK market and the Benelux market. That's where this year we want to concentrate on.
Okay. Which leads us to this beautiful book. Tell us a little bit about this book. Who is it for?
This wonderful meetings planner guide. It is one of our first collateral in the bureau, and our aim is to make sure that wherever we go, the nice thing about this book is just it is both printed and digital. It might be heavy, but we're just going to carry 1 or 2 copies for maybe the headquarters of certain associations, because in those associations they want a printed document where they can actually see the pictures and how nice the place is. But generally in the trade shows we'll use it as a sales tool, but we'll give them a digital memoristic kind of things that they can keep, so that they can, it becomes a booklet and something that they can download in their computers in case they want information. But also this is a wonderful tool for us because our 5 regions can use it, because it is nicely done in a way that if you are an association person or a meeting planner, you can be able to go through and get an information to say how many, what space can you get, how many schoolroom styles, how many whatever, and also give you the restaurants and other things that are nearby in that particular maybe venue. So it is just a pure guide on saying what can you do around your meetings and in your meetings.
Exactly. And I think this is really the first of its kind, to have each region showcased. Normally the focus is always on Johannesburg.
Yeah, I think what we thought as a provincial bureau, we thought that even though there are 3 cities and 1 district, and you find that Tshwane and Johannesburg have their own convention bureau, but we've seen their meeting planner guides and we've said let's improve on them. Let's give the meeting planner an information so that they can be able to plan in advance. They can be able to come to the bureau and say, I've seen this information, enhance on it, so that we are at a stage whereby we don't have to be starting afresh and saying, at Ekurhuleni there's this and that and that. We want the planner to come to us and say, I've seen your meeting planner guide and I'm interested in the following venues. Can you expand on them? Is there any other offering that I can get on whatever? So that we start from that stage and to go to an advanced stage. And that advanced stage is a stage whereby we're able to do site inspections and other sales missions that will help the planner to decide at that particular time. So this, for me, is what we call a decision-making tool.
So Nonnie, if you think about your goals for 2016, what's your ultimate aim? Which one are you striving towards?
My goal for 2016 we've researched for world-class events. I'm not talking about the world conferences that we have 5,000, 2,000 or whatever, but I'm talking about world expos. So there are 2 that we are eyeing, and to prepare them it's 9 months to a year. And I would want to make sure that at least we do one of them thorough, and even if we don't win it, but we are shortlisted for it. So because we've got a new bidding and hosting fund, so we'll be looking much more, as Gauteng will be looking much more at bidding for new events, but new events that are mega in terms of their magnitude. They will not reach the World Cup, but they will be like something that everyone talks about. Like we had the World Sustainable Development Conference, something similar to that people will talk about. I mean, we had the AU, yes, people were talking about it, but it is not at the level that I would want a conference people to be talking about, whether it is an expo or it is a conference. So we're working towards one in 2025 and one in 2018. So if we can be able to achieve that status of being shortlisted, at least as a country, because it is a country bid but led by Gauteng. So those are some of the things that we are working towards. Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about Meetings Africa 2016. You've been an exhibitor for many a year. Let's talk about this year. Have you had valuable meetings? Who have you met?
It is a little bit premature to say this Meetings Africa will be But with the meetings that I've had so far, it has been quality meetings. But quality meetings in our own language will be quality meetings when we actually see the leads.
Right.
And if those meetings turn into pure leads, and then leads that can be business thereafter, and that is a long time thing. But we can actually see people that have confirmed leads. I mean, I've met two organizations that have confirmed leads or confirmed meetings in Gauteng, but they don't know way to take their meetings to, but they are sure they want to be here. So what we usually do as a convention bureau, we will use the meeting planner guide and say, we've got several cities, but within those cities, we've got a briefing document where we'll say to the client, fill in this document and we'll send it to the different regions. So if ever the conference or the event is 750 and above, we'll only send it to venues that are 750 and above. And the meeting planner guides, being our guidance, having that particular information, we're able to utilize it to say, we're sending to this venue and this venue and this venue, and maybe it will be 6 venues out of the whole meeting planner guides, so that those venues can code and see if they've got they can accommodate this meeting in terms of dates and all this, and give their suggestions also in terms of date, because you can send it to those events, to those venues, but you find that they cannot totally commit on the dates that the planner has, but they can sort of commit on the dates that are nearer to what the planner wants. And those are some of the things that after we've done that, then it will lead to us and the planner doing a site inspection and deciding on the best venue. So there are 2 of those events or of those conferences that we are sure of, but we don't know where to place them at the moment until we've done our work around it.
Cool. Nonnie, thank you so much.